Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful tutorial, we're trying to explore a very nice package called NeatText. So we're using NeatText to help us clean textual data. So in most NLP projects, when you're trying to do an NLP project or a machine learning activity that has to do a test, you're supposed to clean the test, right? So you can use the powerful packages like NLTK, you can use Spacey, a very powerful package, you can use FTFY, that is fix test for you to fix bad code. Can use contractions, can use regular expression, the almighty regular expression, can use clean test, test hero, normalize, and even test TC also has some features that can help you clean, even TensorFlow also. But in this tutorial, we're trying to explore a very nice package called NeatText, which is a very simple package that does the basic stuff that we mostly do. So in case you are trying to clean a test, what you mostly do is that you actually, like maybe there are stopwaste you're supposed to remove, right? There are punctuations. These are basic stuff you also have to do most of the time. If there are special characters, you remove them. If there are unnecessary noise, you try and reduce them, right? Remove them. Then also in case there are contractions, so you can also use even contractions package to help you with that. So let's see how to work with this nice package and see how to use this package to clean our test. So in case you don't have it, you can just install it with this option, pip install NeatText, right? So this is basic natural language processing workflow, which is usually have to do, you fetch your data, you pre-process your data, then you do your clean, then you do your tax, right? But let's move on to the package NeatText, right? Trying to see how to use NeatText to be able to do simple test pre-processing or test cleaning for short. So NeatText has four main features, right? We have the test frame sub package, we have the test extractor, we have the neat functions, and then neat explainer. So for the test frame is the core for cleaning tests, which works like an object-oriented approach, right? And you also have the test extractor, which is used to extract terms and then anything that you want to extract, like stopwaste, punctuations, etc. Then you also have NeatText.functions, which allows us to be able to do all the basic things in the format of a function, like functional approach, right? Then we also have NeatText explainer. So let's see what we're working. So I'll put my packages that we always use, of course, our EDA packages are the pandas, and then we'll be cleaning the offensive data set, right? That is the hate speech data set. So let's check it out. I'm going to load it, then we can now check it out. So df.head, then if I print it out, you're going to see it in a very nice way. So this is how the data set looks like. It's like having the counted hate speech, the offensive language, and then the most important thing we need for this data set is we need the class and then the tweet. So let's go with df.columns, and then let's pick these ones, right? So we'll be picking the class and the tweet column. These are the only ones that we need, right? And we're trying to see how to use NeatText to be able to clean it. So df, let's go this, give it a different name, the same name rather, and let's rearrange it because in most cases the label, right, is usually at the end, right, in most supervised machine learning projects. So I don't know whether you can see it well. Yeah, I hope now you can see it better. Okay, so let's see how to clean this particular test, right? So I'm just going to put it back again and let's preview. So if I preview it now, it's going to give us an error because it's supposed to be in this format, right? So this is a correct format. So if I go back and I check it again, you can see now we have our tweet column, which consists of our test, which we want to clean, in our class column. And looking at this, you can see that there are some exclamations here, right? There's an RT, there's an arrow bar, and then a handler, right? A mention or username. So these are some of the things we must clean. So let's pick one of them. So .ilog, let's pick number 4, and let's see. So if I pick 4, you can see that it's having all of these things there, right? You can see that it's having these particular stuff. So dots. So let's go with my tweet. So it's having a lot of exclamation, it's having an RT, it's having the mention or the username or the user handle, it's having some hashtags here, right? So in case you want to clean it, how do you do that? So these are some of the things we are supposed to clean. So we're supposed to remove, like our tax is to remove special characters, right? Based on this data set, you're supposed to also remove, let's say, user handles, or in Twitter, user handles, right? In mentions, right? These are also can also be mentions. We are supposed to also remove like hashtags, right? and then we can also remove stopwaste in case there are a lot of stopwaste, and then add punctuations, right? So these are some of the things, the basic things you're supposed to do, right? So let's see how to use NeatText to help us do these things. You don't need to use your own custom regis. You can also use that, but with NeatText, all of these things are already provided for. So let's import it. In case you don't have it, you can just install it with this option. So pip install NeatText, right? So that's how to install it. Now let's explore the various features that this particular package has to offer us. So it's going to be our methods, and then our attribute. So it's going to be DRL. Then let's work on this. First of all, let's import it first before we can check the various methods. It's going to be, I'll load my test cleaning package. So in this case, it's going to be import NeatText. Let me bring it to the top so that you can see it well. Import NeatText, right, as nt, and then you can also import NeatText.functions. Remember that that's also one of the sub packages, right? So you can use the object-oriented approach using this particular format here, or you can use the functional approach using this particular approach, right? As NFS, right? Perfect. So it's giving us an error. NeatText, we made a mistake in the spelling. Perfect. So that is how it is, right? Very simple. Now let's explore it. So if I go back and I check out the NT, the NeatText, you can see that it's giving us a lot of features, right? It's having the various regular expression for automated read index contractions, in case you want to work with currency in the regular expression, date regular expression, email regular expression. All of these functions are within, and it's having some 4 main class. We have the test metrics, right? To get some metrics about test, we have test frame, which operates like data frame, very similar to Pandas data frame API. We have test extractor, we have test cleaner, and you can also see from here that in case you want to do anything, so most of the tests we do is that we try to remove bad codes, remove currencies, symbols, right? Custom patterns, can remove dates. These are basic things that we mostly do, right? So with NeatText, we can be able to do that. You can even remove multiple spaces and then hashtags. So let's see how to use NeatText to help us do that. That's the basic feature. Now we can also come back again to the NeatText.functions. So that is going to be the methods and then attributes of the functions package, right? So in that case, it's going to be DRL, and I pass my NFS. So the same thing that we did in the previous one, you can also do them in a functional approach, right? So you just import the function and use them instead of using it an object-oriented approach. So let's work on the first task. So we'll be trying to see how to work with this particular option, right? We'll be trying to see how to work with this, then later we'll move on to this, or we can do it anyhow you want it to be. So let's pick the test frame first, and then we'll work on the neat functions also. So let's check it out. So to work on it, we have our simple test that we had, which was my df.ilog, right, for 4, right? So let's use 4, and this was our tweet. I prefer to use the bracket notation to make it easier, right? So this is what we are trying to clean. So let's put as X, right? Perfect. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of things you are supposed to remove from it. So you can use the method-oriented approach. So method 1, using the object-oriented approach, right? Using test frame. So with the test frame, you can be able to do that in a simple way. So I just go back here, and I'll call it as my document that I want to process. Then nt.test frame. Then I'll pass in my value, right? The test that I want to work on. So now with this simple stuff, I can do a lot of things. I can just do a simple describe, just like in Pandas, and then it's going to give me a simple description of the length of the entire stuff, the number of vowels, the number of consonants, the stopwaste, the number of stopwaste, the number of punctuations, number of special characters, the number of tokens out of the box, right? Very cool and very nice. So you don't even need to do this. You can also get it. So just like in Pandas, you can also preview the first, let's see, 10 words, right? Or 10 characters, right? Using the normal head. So it's going to be df, or I say df, docs.head. Then I'll pass in, let's say, 10, right? It's going to just print the first 10 values for us, which is this. Very simple. You can also do the tail in case you also want to do. So it's having a similar API to that of Pandas. Right, so let's check it out. So this is going to be the tail. right? Perfect, right? Very simple. You can see that this is the word there, and you can do a lot of things. So in case I want to, let's say I want to clean or remove Stopwaste, right? Because we realize that there were a lot of Stopwaste there. There are about, from the description you could see that we have some Stopwaste here, right? 15 of them, right? And I want to be able to remove them from it, right? I can actually do the same thing here by coming back again. So we have my document, right? Then I'll just go to remove Stopwaste. So we have a lot. So you can remove Stopwaste. In the Stopwaste, you can specify the particular type of Stopwaste that you want. In case you want to remove English Stopwaste, French Stopwaste, and the rest, right? So Stopwaste, remove Stopwaste. Then I can just go straight away with this. So it's going to remove all the Stopwaste from our test, right? You can see from here that all the Stopwaste have been removed. If you check our initial test, which was here, let me bring it to the top so that you can see it all. If you check our initial test, which was this one, right? You can see that now most of the Stopwaste like have been removed, like there has been removed, right? U has been removed from it. Very nice, out of the box, right? And then in case you want to get everything back, you can just go with the test option. Then it's going to return it as a test. Very simple. So with NeatText, you can do a lot of things out of the box. In case you also want to remove all punctuations from it, you can also do the same thing here. So in case I want to remove punctuations, so it's going to be removing punctuations, right? I can't spell punctuations, but let's make it points, right? To save us time. So I can just come back to the same thing that we did, and I just go with remove points, right? So it's going to remove all the punctuations. And I'd say all the punctuations have been removed, right? It removed the most commonest one, which was the one here, right? You can also remove, you can set the most common. So most common is equal to true. This is going to remove the most commonest punctuations there, right? As you can see, it even took off this one. As you could see, there was this one here, but now that's taking them out perfectly. You can also, and that's taking out this one too, right? Very, very smart. But you notice that the hashtag is also can also be seen as a punctuation, but actually it's not a punctuation, it's a special character. So if you set this one to false, that means that it's going to remove everything. Or you can even use a new function, remove special characters, right, to remove those ones there. So if I go back and I set this one to false, then now that's taking even this hashtag is there, right? So we have some most commonest or most common punctuations such as the full stop, exclamation. These are common punctuations, but we have punctuations that are not actually punctuations, but they are like special characters. That explains why it took off this hashtag. Very simple and very nice. So that is something very cool you can do with it. Now let's move on to, this is a simple overview of the test frame feature, right? So there are a lot of things you can do. Of course, there are a lot and more features are being added to it, right? So that is something very simple with it. Now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be our NeatText.functions, right? So with the NeatText.functions, all that we did, you can actually do that with the NeatText.function. You can actually do the same thing and remove hashtags in case there were hashtags in our test. But let's work on the next one. That is going to be method 2. So this is going to be method 2 using the functional approach. So this is going to be using the functional approach, right? So with the functional approach, we're using NeatText.functions, so you can just import it. So import NeatText.functions as NFS, right? Perfect. And then we can also do the same thing. So we can actually clean the same test that we had. This was the test that we had. In case I want to remove all user handles, right? I can actually do the same thing here. So this is going to be like remove user handles or mentions, right? You can call it mentions. So in that case, it's going to be my nfs.remove user handles, right? If I go with user handles, it's going to give me the option. Then I just click on S. I'm going to remove all the user handles there. See that now this entire stuff here, which was a user handle, has been removed perfectly. Very nice. I can also do the same thing in case I want to remove these hashtags there, right? In case I want to remove the hashtag, I can also do the same thing. So for example, like this, let's say I want to remove the hashtag, right? And it's going to remove the hashtags there, right? So now this hashtag here was removed, right? But it's left with this. So you can also use remove special characters to remove all the special characters from there. So if I come back here and I try it again, let's say I want to, this is removing hashtags. So after we have seen this one, we'll be trying to see how to apply this stuff to the entire data set, right? So in case I also want to remove all these special characters there, I can also do that. So let's say remove, there's going to be remove all special characters, right? So in that case, I can just come back to the same place and I'll just go with special, right, characters. Then I can remove all the special characters. It said that that's removed all the exclamation, that's removed this arrow bar here, right, the @ sign, that's removed the there, left with the numbers. Very nice. That is one of the few features of NeatText. Now let's see one thing we also have. So we can also do some interesting stuff, which is going to be in case I want to remove Stopwaste, right? In case you have Stopwaste, you can also do the same thing. So I can just go nfs.remove Stopwaste. It's going to remove the Stopwaste from there, right? It's going to remove all the Stopwaste. Very nice. So there's also another nice feature from this, which is going to be the clean test feature, right? So the clean test feature is similar. All these things you are doing one after the other, you can actually do them together as one, right? So we had our test, which was this, and in case I want to use a clean test feature, I can actually apply them to it. So in that case, it's going to be something like this. Let's add more things to it, right? So I'm just going to call this one as, copy this one, call it as S2. I'm going to add more stuff to it, right? So let's add some stuff to it, right? So I've added some, simple stuff to it. So if I go back and I check it again, so this is our new test called S2, right? So in case I want to actually clean S2, right? It's having some emails, it's having some URLs, having some, what do you call it, some emoticons, right? So in case I want to remove all of them, I can also use the clean test option. So it's going to be nfs, right, dot clean test, right? So if I go with clean test, now it gives us the option of supplying the test, which is S2. If I go with S2 like this, by default it's going to clean it in a very nice format for us, reducing everything to the lowercase. As you can see from here, you can see that that's taking out the stopwaste automatically, that's taking out the emoticons, right, the emoji. Very nice, right? You can also add some more stuff. It can also be specific. So let's check the various features of this by going with the normal help function, which is going to be this option. Right, so let's check the help. So I can just go with nfs dot clean test. Then if I run it now, I can see the help, right? So it gives you the option of just setting as boolean, true or false, anything that you want to clean, right? So it's very simple. So these are all the various things you can actually clean. With time, more will be added to it. So we have our test that is apply. You can set punctuations to true in case you want to remove punctuations. You can set stopwaste to true in case you want to remove stopwaste. Anything that you want to remove, you just specify that particular stuff, then you set it as true. So we have URLs, false, like numbers, emojis, special characters, phone numbers, none as sky, multiple white space contractions in case you want to fit contractions, and in case you also want to supply your own custom pattern to clean, you can also work on that. So let's see how to do that. So I just come back to the same place that we have. So we have seen how to work with this simple package to clean our test. So I can just try it on this. So I can just go with my nfs, right, neat functions, neat test.functions. Then I'll just pass here inside my test, which was S2. Then in case I want to keep all the punctuations, right, so punctuations, then I'll set it as, let's say, false. If I set punctuations as false, it's going to clean it, but the punctuations are still there, right? So these are punctuations, they are still there. In case I also want to keep the stopwaste, right, I just go the same way to true, so that all the stopwaste are going to be still there, right? Very simple. So like, it's a very simple and very nice package. You can also set this is set as true. So let's keep the stopwaste with false. I said now the stopwaste are back, right? Very cool and very nice. You can also remove emails. So in case I want to remove this particular email here, right? Emails, now set it as true. Then it's going to remove email, so that it's no more there. So my email is gone, right? I can also remove URLs. So I'll set it as true. Then it's going to remove the URL there. So now the website is there, is gone. If you check the previous one that we had, which was this one, S2, you can see now this one is gone, right? The URL is gone, it's no more there. The email is gone, right? So the simplest way is that in case you want to do anything, you just take off this, you just specify it as true. Very simple. Now let's see how to also keep the emoji. So emojis, is going to be false, right? So if I set emojis to false, it's going to clean it, but the emoji is still there. So you can do a lot of things with it. And now let's check the final one in case I want to work on the custom pattern. So custom pattern. Let's make it like this, custom, right? Pattern, right? In case I want to specify a custom pattern, let's say I want to remove all these user handles, right? I can also do the same thing. I can specify that particular pattern I want to do. So let's try it out. So let me make it like this so that I can see it all. Right. So in case I want to move that custom pattern, I can just come back here, then specify the pattern, right? Using the normal regex. So I can just go back with backslash, then arrow bat, right? Then a group of words, right? That is the basic understand. This one, then backslash, then I want to get all words, right? So if I go with this, now I said now that word is gone, right? The RT here is gone. So you can actually specify your own custom pattern that you want to remove. That is something very cool, something very nice. Now let's see how to apply this entire stuff on our dataset, right? So this is going to be our main task. So let's check it out. So I'll come back here, and then we'll be working on our dataset using this. So this is going to be our working on our dataset, right? So we already have our dataset here, which is this one that we are working. So we want to be able to clean it to make it very nice and beautiful, right? So let's see how to do that. So I'll just come back to the same place, and let's first of all check it out. So you can also do a noise scan, right? A noise scan to be able to get the amount of things that you need to clean from a particular test. So let's try that one out. It's going to be my df, my tweet column, right? And just go with dot apply. I just use the normal lambda function. So lambda x, right? Then I'm just going to specify the same thing. So it will be nt.testFrame. We are using the testFrame function for it, and I'll just pass in my x. Then I can just go with my noise scan. So if I go with noise scan, it's going to scan the entire stuff and determine or tell us how much we need to clean, right? What are the unnecessary noise within our data set? Very simple. It's going to take some time to analyze the entire stuff and give us our result. Very nice, right? So it's going to give us this simple stuff. So you see that consider I have our noise, our test noise, right? That is how it's going to compare the amount of unnecessary characters, stop words, and in their proportion together with the length, right? Very nice. You can also be specific and do it in this way. So it's a dictionary, so you can actually select it as a dictionary. It's going to pick only that one for us, right? So after that, after you have finished cleaning, you're going to check again and see how much work we have done, right? Very nice. Perfect. So you can see that these are all double digits, but after cleaning it to come to a single digit. Okay, so let's check it out. So now let's see the first thing we need to do. So we are supposed to remove hashtags, right? Or let's first of all remove user handles, right? So if I go back to what we had earlier on, you can see from here that we had some user handles, right? So in case I want to remove all of them, I can also do that. You can also extract them, right? I can actually extract all the user handles from this one too. Remember that one of the features of NeatText, as we learned earlier on, is that we can also extract some terms, right? So in case I want to extract all the user handles from it, I can actually do that, right? It is a simple function within it. So let's check it out. So let's say I want to extract them before I remove them. So I want to extract all the user handles into another column. So this is going to be extract user handle. So how do I do that? So it's going to be very simple. So let's put as my df, right? Then let's call that one as my user handles as a column. Only to now just go with the same thing I did. Go into my tweet column. Then I'll just go with apply. So you can use there are two approaches. You can use the object-oriented approach, or you can use the functions to help us with that. So we have that function there to extract. So let's check it out. So if I go back to this option, NeatText.functions. If I check it out, you can see that it's having that extract option here. You can see it here. I don't know whether I can see it, right? So you see that we have extract user handles, right? So you can actually use this one to help you extract user handles. So let's check it out. So it's going to be this, apply, right? Straight away apply. You can go without using lambda, then just go straight away with ns, right? Which is going to be my nfs dot extract user handle. because the function user handles. It's going to extract all the user handles from our test for us and store it inside this variable very fast, right? So if I go back and I check it out again, you can see that now it's having 3 different columns. We have our column with our test, right, our tweet, and we have all the user handles. Very, very nice and very cool, right? It has extracted all of them for us. You can actually also so we have seen that there are user handles there, right? So that means that I can actually clean them from it. So let's work on it. So in that case, it's going to be my df. Let's go to clean test, clean tweet rather. Then I'll just pass in my tweet column that I want to clean. Then I'll just go with my apply. Then I can just do the same thing I did, nfs NeatText.functions.remove. We are removing them. So I want to remove all my user handles. Right, it's going to remove all the user handles and then store them perfectly with a clean one. So if I go back and I check it again, now this one is in a better format. So you can see that we do have 4 columns now, and all the user handles here, right, have been removed, right? Very, very cool and very nice. And we have extracted them so that we can actually refer back to them, right, to know which user belongs to a particular test. Very cool. Now there's some stuff here to also want to remove. So how do we remove them? So we can also remove, first of all, let's remove the hashtags first. So I can also check if there's hashtags there. So we can also extract all the hashtags. If they are HTMLs, you can extract them. If they are emails, you can extract them, right? So let's check it out. So it's going to be my df. Then let's go back to my tweet. Then I'll just go back to this. So apply. Then I can just use the same thing now with nfs.extract hashtags, right? So it's going to help me extract hashtags. I can also extract HTML in case they are there. I'm going to extract all the hashtags there. You can see that there are some hashtags that were found, others were not found, right? So the reason that some of the hashtags have an ampersand behind it, so you can use the custom pattern to help you remove them, right? So let's use a custom pattern to help us with that. So in that case, it's going to be my remove my hashtags, all the hashtags within it, right? So it's going to be like this. So df.tweet, right? Then I'll just go back to, you can also use the clean, let's pick the clean tweet to help us with that, so that at least by the time you finish, we have it in a very nice format. .apply. Then I can just go back my nfs NeatText.function, then remove custom pattern, right? So I can just go with my custom pattern option. So custom pattern, or I can just go straight away with this option, remove hashtags, right? So if I go with this, it's going to remove all the hashtags within it. So now all the hashtags are gone. Most of them are gone, right? Most of the hashtags are gone. Very cool and very nice, right? So we can easily do a lot of things. You can see that all of these things, there was a hashtag here. If I check back to here, let's try this one out. df clean tweet. You can see there are some places that there were hashtags, right? So if you see this particular value here, right, 2477, this place, this one, right? You can see that there was a hashtag there, but if you check it back, it is gone, right? Very cool. So you can actually use it to remove hashtag, but this one too can also be removed using the special character, or you can also put it as a custom pattern to remove them. So let's try with the custom pattern. So remove custom pattern, right? So like in case I have pattern that I want to remove, so I can also pass in the same thing here, copy this one here, and let's try it out. So in case you are not subscribed to this channel, you can also subscribe, and please don't forget to check the link below for more, right? So custom pattern, then I'll pass in my pattern, right? So arrow. So this is one of the ways. Since it's a function, you can just go with this option here, then I'll specify that particular pattern I want to remove. So the pattern I want to remove is, it's an ampersand, right, followed by a hashtag, and then followed by any other character. So it can be, right, so if I run it like this, so there's another way we can also run it. It's giving us an error. Let's check it out. It's telling us it's missing one positional required argument, right, which is a term pattern. So that is a pattern that we want to remove. right? So let's use the lambda function to help us with that, to make it better for us. So lambda s, then then s. So we are going to pass in into this function our x, going to be the first term, what you're trying to clean from our test, right? X, right? And I'm going to pass in a particular pattern that I want to remove. So this is going to be my term pattern, right? So term pattern, or pattern term. The naming is funny, but right, so this is going to be the term pattern that I want to remove. Then let's run it again. If I run it, perfect. See that now it's working, right? So we're able to remove all those words there. You can see that that word here, which we had here, right, which was the same thing that we had here, has been removed by the custom pattern that we specified. So NeatText gives you a lot of features that you can actually do. So in case you don't have a particular feature that you want, you can use the custom pattern and then it is going to do it for you, right? Very cool and very nice. So that is something very simple. Now let's apply the same thing. Let's say this one, so that our test will be clean. So we have to remove all of these unnecessary stuff in the RT. So you can also use the custom pattern to help you remove that. So I can just come back again. So let's go with my df clean tweet. Then I'll pass in my stuff to remove all the custom pattern there. Perfect. Now our test is more cleaner. So let's check it back again. You can also use the clean test feature, right? And now our test is raw. Perfect. But we need to remove all this RT and all these special characters. So how do we do that? You can also use the same custom pattern that we did. So I can copy this one here, this entire stuff, and use it to remove the RTs, right? Together with how it looks like. So I can come back again here and see I want to remove all RTs. Right. So if I go with this, I'm going to remove all RTs from my test. And if I check it back again, so let's copy this one here. And you can see that now all the RTs are gone, right? All the RTs are gone using the custom pattern. So let's remove the special characters, all these asterisks, with a simple function. And then you can also remove Stopwaste. So clean tweet. You can also use the clean test option and then pass in, like a format of a dictionary, your parameters, right? So tweet dot apply. Then let's remove all the special, so I can just go with NFS, right? Dot remove special characters. So it's going to remove all special characters. So we have special characters here. So I'm going to remove every special character there. You can see from here that all of these things have been gone. Wow. But there are some white spaces, right? You can see that there are some white spaces here. So how do you remove it? There is a feature for that. So you remove all the special characters and then you use the white space to help us with that. So df.clean. Tweet. Then I just come back again to this option, right? So I'm moving special characters and then we will try and see how to remove all the white space. So clean tweet. Then I'll just come back again to this same place and let's remove all the white space. So move multiple white space. Perfect. You're going to remove all the multiple white space. Very simple, right? Very, very cool, right? Out of the box. Now I can just come back again and if I check it, if I check the previous one and the current one, you can see the difference, right? So you see that our test here now is very clean. Our clean tweet is now clean, right? But you can also notice that there were some also contractions here, right? So you can also find a way of trying to work on it in case you also want to fix contraction. There's also a very nice package that you can also use to help you with that, which is contraction. You can also work on that. So this is okay, but as compared to this one looks more cleaner. So there are some stopways you're supposed to remove, you can remove them. There are some contractions you want to remove, you can also remove them. So all of them are available for you to use, right? So let's try how to work with the contractions, right? So in fixing contractions, right, it's going to face contractions, right? Just overview. You can use the contractions package, which is a very smart package. Congrats to the person that worked on it. Contractions. You can also use the clean test packages to help you with that. But also can also use NeatText, right? And then you can also use the other packages, right? So let's see how to work with it. So I have a simple contraction here. So let's say I have my contraction. So let's call my sentence as this, which is I am here, yo, right? Right. So something like this. So in case I have this particular test here and I want to clean it with contractions, I have not installed it, but with contractions you can just go with that. You just import it, contractions, right? Then just go with contractions dot face, right? Then with this you'll be able to clean your stuff, right? That is how to work with contractions. But let's see how to use NeatText to do the same thing, right? So in the same way we were able to import it, you can just go with NFS, right? Then face contractions. Then I'll just pass in my test, which is S1, right? So it's going to face that contraction. You can see that the word I am is going to be the format, the right format. I am here in the lowercase. Your, right? It's going to be your. Very cool and very nice. So you can use it to face all the contractions in our test, and then you can use it to do a lot of things. You can also, from our test here, we also have some stopwaste. So in case you want to remove all the stopwaste from it, you can also work on it. That is a very important feature. So let's remove stopwaste from our test. So it's going to be my df clean, right? My clean tweet. I can spell clean tweet, right? And in case I want to remove all stopwaste, I can just go with, I can even extract them. So I can extract all the stopwaste in our test. So we can just use the normal Lambda function, or you can just go the normal way, which is going to be NFS, right? Dot extract stopwaste. But let's use a different method. So we are using this particular approach as we learned earlier on. We can use the test frame option. You can use the test extractor. So let's use the test extractor to extract all the stopwaste from our test to know what they are, and then later on we'll try and see how to remove them using NeatText.functions. So let's check it out. So I have it here. So it's going to be my so I have my lambda. Let's use lambda, right? Then x, that is a variable you are picking from the clean test. Then now just go back to my NeatText.test extractor to extract a particular term, right? Then I'll pass in my value, the s, from that particular column. Then I can just specify what I want to do. So extract. What do I want to extract? I want to extract that particular stuff. So I want to extract between brackets in case you have some text within brackets. In case you want to have currencies, you have dates, emails, emojis, hashtags, HTML tags. There are a lot. Wow, there are a lot. You can extract your own pattern, custom pattern from it. So let's extract our stopwaste. So if I go with this extract stopwaste, I'm going to extract all the stopwaste from our test for us, right? So if I go back here, I'm going to extract them into a variable for us. So these are all the stopwaste there. Very cool, right? You can also specify the particular stopwaste, whether it is French, English, or archaic, right? Very nice. So since we know that there are some stopwaste, that means that we can actually clean them. So this one was not removal of stopwaste, it was extraction of stopwaste. So let's now remove them, and then you can be able to use it to do our NLP activity. So that is how to work with NeatText. So with NeatText, it makes our work very easy, right? So let's remove all stopwaste. So I'll change this one from here. Here's another approach you can also do, right? Then go with test frame, right? You can also use test frame to help us with that. Then I'll just come back here. So dot remove. This is one method, right? Stopwaste, right? So this is one of the methods. So I can use this particular approach to remove all the stopwaste. So now there are no more stopwaste there. This one is a contraction, you have to face it, right? That is one. This is method one, using the test frame, right? But in case you also want to use the function option, you can also work on it. So let's try the second one, which is going to be using the NeatText.functions. So this is going to be method one, and this is going to be method 2. Because these are some important things that you also want to do, right? Something like that. So this is going to be using NeatText.functions. So in that case, I'll just take off all of this, and I'll just go straight away with this. So nfs dot remove stopwaste. Then I can specify the language, which is, let's say, English. By default it's doing English, but in case you have French, you can also use it. Right, so something very simple. So you have to just take it off. But in case you want to specify the language, just pass in as the language in the next column, right? So that is going to be like this. Just as in case you are doing something like with apply, right? Just pass in that particular value. So en is also going to remove it perfectly for us, either using this particular approach. So this language. So in case you want to remove French words, you can just go with fr, right? That is in case it's having French. You're going to use French, but there's no French, so it's still going to return the same thing, right? So let's see. This is one of the ways. So let's go with en, or we can just go without it. I'm going to use the default stuff. So that's how to work with NeatText to be able to use it to clean our test, right? Very nice. Now I can equate this stuff we have done to our clean test, and now we can move on to the next section of trying to use this particular clean test to do natural language processing, right? So now this is going to be a clean one, and if I go back and I do a new noise scan as we did earlier on, so let me paste this one here, and let's check the noise scan that we did again. So in the beginning of the tutorial, we saw how to do a simple noise scan to see how much we are supposed to reduce, right? So now if we do the noise scan now, we're going to see that it is having single values. That means that it is good, right? It has been cleaned well. I'll copy this one here. This was the initial one we did, right? You can see that all the values are 18, 17, like multiple digits, right? But we need to reduce it to single digits. Single digits means that it's good. We have, it is actually at least it is better, right? It is cleaner than double digits. So if I come back to the same thing we did, then let's pass it here. So I'll take off this, and then we do a simple noise scan of what we did. So if I check it back again, now it's no more this. Now this is going to give us single values, right? For most of them. You can see some of them are even 0, right? Most of them are 0 because that has been cleaned perfectly well, right? Very, very nice. So that is how to work with NeatText for cleaning textual data. So there are lots of things you can do. Of course, there are lots. So you can also check the links below and then the documentation for more. So thank you for watching. So in case you have any question or contribution, you can just put inside this comment section below. And then in case you notice a bug or an error, you can also let us know, right? Because this is it's a home build package. So we have test frame. You have seen how to work with it. You have seen how to work with test instructor. You have seen how to work with test functions. In the next feature, we will see how to work with NeatText.explainer. So thank you for watching. See you another time. Stay blessed. Bye.